Hey guys, we are again heading out for an adventure. Just got in the vehicle. I'm leaving my house, headed toward Daniel's. Going to meet up with Daniel. I posted a video on the Facebook page there just a few minutes ago before leaving the house. But where we are headed is to a piece of private property that we have permission to be on, and we're going to look at possibly building some sort of maybe a base camp, just a place where we could build some sort of structure, some sort of shelter, maybe keep a few items there where we can go and just sort of hang out, you know, when we're looking to just get in the woods and get away for an overnighter or something like that. But that's where we're headed today. But I'll try to get some footage of us going up on the mountain and record this adventure for you. I don't really have a whole lot of gear with me. I do have a companion with me today. I'm not sure you can see her back there. I do have my dog with me today. Just gonna bring her. She's less than 2-year-old, so she's still got quite a bit of pup in her. She's a pretty good sized dog, but she's a bit hard to handle in the woods. She likes to chase everything she sees, and I can't let her off the leash. And that's why oftentimes I don't really bring her with me, because she's just a handful. But I do have her with me today. Going to meet up with Daniel. We're going to head up onto the mountain and see what we can find up there, set up a camp, and probably fix us something to eat, some coffee, and sort of scout it out up there and see if we can't find us a place to set up a small base camp for future camps and adventures. But anyway, we just wanted to invite you along on this journey with us, this adventure with us. We appreciate your support. We appreciate you watching the videos, liking the videos, sharing them, subscribing to the channel. Check us out on Facebook at Bill Hilly Adventures, Instagram, Bill Hilly Adventures, TikTok, Bill Hilly Adventures, also YouTube, of course. But if you've not subscribed to the channel already, please do so. Helps us out. Like the videos and share them. But we do appreciate your support. We do appreciate you coming along with us on these adventures. But let's get it going and get it started. What's wrong, girl? Get hot back there. Guys, as you can see, I've arrived here at Daniel's. I do have a companion with me today, Shadow. I do have my dog, Shadow, with me today. But I'm going to meet up with Daniel here, and we're going to head up into the woods. And as I said a minute ago, we're going to try to maybe well, not necessarily set up a base camp, but we're going to look at what we can come up with, see what we can find. We will be on some private property that we do have permission to be on, so we're going to see what we can find, and if nothing else, we're going to camp. We're going to cook us some food, drink us some coffee, and probably hang out by the fire tonight. I know in the last video we didn't do any, we didn't have a fire. We just sort of set by the fire pit. We didn't really build a fire. It was pretty hot, pretty muggy, but tonight we may end up trying to build a fire and just hang out by the fire. So but anyway, we're going to gather up some stuff here and get situated and see if we can't get going, and I'll bring you back here in just a bit. Guys, as you can see, we are in the woods and heading up the hill here. Of course, my dog is out here going wild, which is probably going to make it very difficult to film. But nonetheless, we are getting ready to head up the mountain here. As you can see, the dog is already tangled, but we're in the woods here. There's been quite a bit of storm damage here back last year. There was I think a tornado that hit here. You could see some trees there broke over. You can see some debris laying around here and there in certain places. But anyway, we're going to head up the mountain here. See some of that storm damage right here, where a lot of that has been blown over from the storm. But we're going to get on up the mountain. I don't know if the video shows it. You can probably hear it in my breathing. But this mountain is steep, so let's trek on. Guys, just wanted to jump on here and show you a little bit here on this mountain that we're on. You can, as you climb up this thing, you can continually see the storm damage. There was a tornado hit here back last summer, I think it was, and you can see all the debris laying here. You can see how bright and open it is right there. That's because that's where the tornado came down the mountain out here and right out in front of us right there. You might be able to see some of the treetops broken off, trees uprooted all down through there. You can even see right here in front of us, just a bunch of debris here all around us. You can see over here a bunch of debris just right off trail that was laid across trail. The people that own this property spent several weeks, I think it was, just clearing out of their four-wheeler trail that goes up this mountain and goes around this way. This is pretty steep in here. I'm not sure if the camera does it justice as far as looking at it, but it is pretty steep in here. Quite a bit of climbing to do. Not a lot of climbing, but it's steep. Well, guys, still on trail here, working our way up the mountain. I'm still at this little spot here where all this debris is. Just taking a break here with the dog and myself. Just looking around in the woods, just kind of scoping it out here. I have been up here before and been on this property, even camped on this property in times past. It's been probably 3 years ago, maybe, something like that, when I camped on this property. But it is a nice piece of property. Pretty easy access, and we do have permission to be here. We do have permission to build a bit of a base camp of some sort. So we're going to see what we can get into. Maybe you hear my dog over here gagging. She's sick. But anyway, we're going to try to make our way on around. I may try to show you how steep this is here in a moment, but we're going to head on up. Guys, I'm not sure if the camera does that justice. Probably doesn't. But that is pretty steep up through here. This is the trail straight in front of me right there, as you can see in the center of the screen that I come up on. It actually is a four-wheeler trail, so it's well worn. It's not weedy, overgrown, or anything like that. It is pretty easy to trek, but it is steep. Again, they ride four-wheelers up it, so they're not necessarily concerned with how steep it is. And then, of course, here in front of me, you can see the dog in front of me, and it veers off to the right and takes right off up through that stuff. There is a path in there, but we're gonna head on up. Well, guys, I'm on top of the mountain here. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see in behind me back here. Some of that back there is flat, and then just on back behind me, you can look off the other side of the mountain. I'm looking directly down the mountain here, right behind the camera, the trail I came up on. But we're on top up here. Daniel had to run back down the mountain for something. He's on his way back up. I'm just going to sort of hang out here, wait on him. His pack's here, my pack is here, just waiting on him. And then we're going to venture on out on top here. There is a place back to my right over here where we had camped before. I don't know if we're going to go over that way or if we're going to go to my left. I guess be your right, looking on camera probably, but we do have some permission to be on both sides. This is two separate pieces of property owned by two different people, but we do have permission to be on both of those. And so we're going to venture around here and see what we can get into, and we'll bring you back. Come on, girl, you tired? Old Shadow, she's done pretty good coming up the mountain so far. She has, she's gotten tangled up a couple times on me. Of course, I've got her on that extended leash there, that retractable leash, and I probably should have put her on the shorter one I've got, but I didn't. But she's done pretty good coming up here, but we're here on top. I've lost a tripod, so we're trying to find it. I'm going to see what we can come up with here in a minute, but just thought I'd give you a view around here. I'm just walking around a little bit, looking around, waiting on Daniel, but you can see these woods through here. It is kind of thick with the greenery still on. It's kind of hard to see. It is flat right here in front of me. In fact, right dead in front of me, you might see the remnants of an old, what looks like a tarp of some sort there. The people who own this property do have some, or did have some deer stands and deer blinds built right in here, and I think that's some debris from that, and they've just not cleaned it up up here yet, but I think they will before deer season. I think that's their plans probably. But we're just up here just looking around at the property, trying to figure out where we might at least camp for tonight, and then once we get camp set up, we'll probably scout around a little bit and try to see if we can't find somewhere to maybe build us a bit of a, maybe just some type of shelter or a blind. But anyway, we'll see what we can get into. Just poking around up here, trying to wait on Daniel, see what I can get into. Sun is out, it's still pretty bright out. I don't know of the time. I hadn't checked the time, hadn't looked at the time. Still trying to locate a tripod I've dropped somewhere on the route up. So, but anyway, we're glad you joined us on this adventure, and we're glad you've found us. If you found us on YouTube, just subscribe, like the videos, share. If you found us on Facebook, we've got a Facebook page, Bill Hilly Adventures. YouTube, Instagram, all of them is Bill Hilly Adventures. If you just search for us, you'll find us. Our channel is fairly new, though we're not new to camping, we're not new to hiking. Been out in the woods for many years, even as a young kid, teenager and stuff. But we're glad you found us. We're, again, like I said, we're not new to camping or hiking. The channel is a bit new, but I thought, you know, we come out here all the time, and we like to hike and camp and do that kind of stuff. So I thought, you know, why not just go ahead and record it, start uploading it to YouTube, create a channel, create a page, and bring you folks along with us on the journey. I've said this before, you know, I understand there are people who cannot get out into the woods, and so they can come through our videos and through the channel as well as other channels. But we're glad you joined us. We're going to get on with the adventure. Well, guys, we're trekking around here, just exploring around, looking. We've set our packs over by the tree and left the dog, and hopefully she don't go wild and pull out of her harness. But we're just going to venture around over here and see what we can find. But I'll turn this camera around and give you a little bit of a look of what we're looking at.
Somebody's been up here.
You can see what we're seeing here. Pretty flat spot right here. If I'm not mistaken, I think the last time we were up here, this was kind of swampy last time I was up here, and I'd say it does get swampy during the wet season.
We have had trespassers.
Daniel has found a stake. So he believes somebody's been up here maybe camping.
Yep.
Right here where we're standing would probably make a great campsite, looks like. Place to maybe throw up a tent or something.
Me and you don't use these.
Yeah, those plastic stakes, we don't hardly ever use them.
Anyway.
I do have some that I keep in a particular bag that I use from time to time, but they're really more of just an emergency type thing. Because you can start a fire with them. But we're going to venture around here and
show you the old camp
try to find maybe a place to camp. There is a place over here where we had camped in the past.
Oh yeah, all this is tornado damage.
Yeah, as I said, coming up the mountain, all of this, all of this debris you see laying around that's blown over, it's not been cut. There are probably over here where we had camped in the past. There may be a spot or two where we did cut a tree for firewood, an old dead one. But all of this is new, new damage, storm damage from the storm. So let's venture on, see what we can get into. Well, guys, right here, I'll show you the remnants of our old campsite. When we camped up here many, many years ago, you can see right here is where we had a windscreen for a long fire that we did here. It was in the dead of winter. It was about 22 degrees, I think, that night when we camped up here. And right about where that tree is laying is about where Daniel had his had his tent at one time and a hammock at one time.
I had that hammock from that tree to that.
The tree that's broke off right there in the center of the screen over to that little one right in front of him there. He had a hammock, and then step around right here. And from this big tree right here over to that big tree, I had a hammock stretched out. And of course, we had a pretty good little camp spot here that we set up in. But as you can see,
we did have
the tornado has really wreaked havoc on it. You can see these big old trees uprooted over there and just debris everywhere where the tornado came through here. Let me pan up here and show you. You can see even the tree tops up through there where they're broke out, and just the wind really wreaked havoc, and that tornado took off pretty much from here about straight down the mountain over in the direction. I don't know if you can see it through the tree there, but the owners of this property have a tree stand over there. Or the remnants of it, I guess. I don't know that the tornado totally destroyed it, but it did affect it.
Yeah, the other side's gone.
But this is a easily accessible piece of property for us. We do have permission to be here. We will probably, as you can see right there, is the very top on the back side here. So here after a while, we may try to get up there and get a little bit of views off the back side and show you what it looks like. But this is back out the way we walked in over to where we're at right now. And you can probably hear my dog over there in the distance, right over there, who's angry that I left her tied up over there, but I can't turn her loose because she will run off and run wild. She's still got too much pup in her, but we're going to see what we can come up with, and we'll bring you back. Well, guys, get my collar straightened here where I took my chest rig off. We've got over here and got set up a little bit here somewhat. We found, I think, where we're going to camp. Just got to do a little bit of some clearing here, maybe cut some low hanging branches on these trees, but I think right here in this little somewhat shaded spot's where I'm going to be. And as you can see here, let me turn this around and I'll show you. I've got the dog on a runner right here between them trees. Maybe you can see that rope right there. That is a Kevlar rope that'll hold, I forget how many thousand of pounds, but she won't break that. And then I've just got a retractable leash clipped on there with a Klymit carabiner, so it'll give her some running room. Hopefully she won't tangle herself up too much. I may end up resituating it once I get myself set up here. But this is about where we're at, and you can see over there where Daniel's gonna set up at, and hopefully the dog doesn't decide to do her business in his spot right there. So but I'm gonna make my way back over here where I first set my pack down and get it, and bring it back over here and start setting up. of rock up here, ain't there?
Oh yeah.
Well, crap. Did you see what I just done? I just cut my ridge line. I hit it with my saw. Cut it plumb in two. I was afraid I might do that when I did that, so. There's a blooper on camera. Well, guys, I'm assuming you saw that. Cutting that limb, my saw come down and hit my ridge line where I had it so tight, and it broke it, so I've got to retie it. And to attach this, guys, it's real simple. I hope this is on camera. Real simple. You just tie a bow line in it, around it, just like so. You can tie it around it, through it, but the reason I do it this way is I can take it off if I need to. I just feed it through, back over itself, as I've showed you in other videos, and just lock it to it. So now I've got to loosen it on the other end to put this back on the way it should be. So. Guys, not sure if you've seen how I did that there, but I put my tarp on the ridge line, and then I'm going to take it over. I like my ridge line underneath my tarp. Some people put it over top of it, some put it under it. I'm going to put mine under it because I think it gives it better support, but it's easier if you go ahead and stretch it out while it's tight, and then just take the back corner or the front corner, either one, and pull it over the line. It's much easier that way. Well, I got my tarp set up, guys. That's about it for the moment. Going to work on getting my hammock set up and get situated here. The dog currently is going to be in the way of all of this, so I'm going to probably have to rearrange her at some point. So just got her tied there for now. But anyway. About right for me, looks like. Well, hey guys, you can see set up here pretty much. My hammock's set up, my tarp is set up. I don't have my ground sheet down. I did take the dog over there and tied her somewhat out of the way. She may be more in Daniel's way than mine at the moment, but anyway, just trying to get set up here. It is getting late on us. the sun is going to be down before too long. I think it's probably after 6 o'clock at this point, I think. But anyway, going to finish setting up here. We've got a fire pit on off over that way, an old fire pit from when we were here before, that we're going to cook over there and probably put our chair and table, that sort of thing over there, and hang out by the fire over there once we get everything sort of situated and going. I'm going to finish getting my ground sheet down, clear out some stuff here under the hammock and get my ground sheet down and get some gear picked up and sort of cleaned up and organized a little bit. But may walk back here behind me and see if we can't get a little bit of a view over the mountain and possibly even over there in front of me where the tornado damage was. You can probably see quite a ways down the mountain now because it wiped out quite a bit of the trees and stuff over that way. So anyway, I'm going to try to clean up and get tidied up here and do some different things and get over there at the fire and maybe try to get some views down off the back side of the ridge and the front side of the ridge here and see what we can come up with. Well, guys, we're sort of set up here. Got a few things organized and set up. As you can see behind me, of course, hammock and all that stuff is set up. I wanted to try and, I'm pretty hungry, not eat today, and it's already late evening. But what I thought I'd do before the sun sets, where we can actually see, so I'm gonna walk right up here on this ridge, just right over this way somewhere, and see if I can't look off the front side down here, maybe get a little view or something and see what I can see down that way. And then back over this way behind me over here, you can see down that ridge, there's some, possibly could see where that tornado went down through there. But let's go see what we can see. So let's go, guys, for real quick here and see what we can see over here on the back side here from where we come up. This is the back side from where we come up, at least anyway. But let's get over here and see what we can see. Got a gnat in my eye. But let me turn the camera around. Let me see if we can look off here. Foliage, guys, is still pretty thick. Going to make it pretty difficult really to see anything. You may be able to see some of those mountains in the distance over there. There is a little, I think, small mountain in front of us, and then on the other side of that would be one of the main roads that runs through this county. If you look around up that way, you can probably see the sky through the trees. It kind of goes up a little higher up that way. If we were to walk out that way, we potentially could see something, but you can't really see much here. But I'm sure you can hear my dog barking in the background. She's wondering where I'm at. But this is kind of where we're set up at. This is sort of what it looks like in here. Of course, over there's camp. Daniel's tent to the left of the frame, in the center of the frame now. My hammock over there. But we're going to make our way over there where the dog is making so much noise and toward the fire pit. Maybe walk out on the front side and see if we can look down where that tornado was. But let's go check it out. Well, guys, let's make our way to the front side over here and see what we can see real quick, and then we're going to work on fixing us something to eat. As you can see, as my dog is famous for, which is a lot of times why I really don't care much for bringing her. I guess I need to really work with her more and train her, but she's wrapped around a tree, which is pretty common for her. So let me untangle her, and then we'll walk over here on the front side and see what we can see. Well, guys, as you can see, here is one of those big blowdowns. It actually barely missed the old fire pit there where Daniel's standing. It did hit about where Daniel used to put his tent and hammock. You can see that old dead snag right in the center of the screen there. That was one of the trees he used to put his hammock on, but of course can't do that anymore. But this is one of those old dead snags, or not snags, but one of the blowovers. You can see the root system there where it uprooted it. So if my dog will untangle me, we'll walk over here and see what we can see. We're going to see what we can see here. We can get through some of this. Whoa, that put an eye out. I was going to stop right here and sort of show you people that own this property. I guess you can see that. There's a tree stand right there in the center of the screen. I think the storm did impact it, but let's climb over this big log right here and we'll see what we can see down the front side with this storm damage. Whoa. I don't know how much we'll be able to tell. Quite a bit of damage down that way. If I pan up right here, you'll be able to see the treetops all broken out and you know, quite a bit of open sky there, where normally there would have been a large canopy of trees, but I don't know if you can see down through there, would have been the path of the tornado when it went down the mountain. Of course, you can tell, if you can see across over there, that other ridge, we're in a pretty deep little valley here. This valley is known as Poor Valley, is what they call it. Let's walk over here and see if we can't look down maybe a little more. Maybe climb up on this log and see what we can see here. Let's see. If I don't fall, we'll be all right. Oh yeah, here we go. This will give us a little better view. If you look down in there, you can see kind of how open that woods is. And this used to be super thick with big timber, underbrush. You can see it's fairly open. You can see some of the blowdown just all around us right here. Quite a bit of it, even back this way. And then right there's the steps going up to the old tree stand. But you can see quite a bit of blowdown. Storm did quite a bit of damage in here. Some big timber in here, as you can see right in front of me, in the center of the shot right there, that big old tree. It did wipe quite a few out in here though. Done quite a bit of damage. Power was out for, I think, a few days. But let's make our way back to the fire pit over here and let's get something to eat. So Shadow waiting on me, since she won't be quiet, barking and going on. Oh, let's cross this big log right here. Not sure what kind of dog she is, guys. We think she may be part Catahoula, which is a rare breed of dog, especially for the area that we're in. She was a rescue. A lady in the church where I was previously had been pastoring found her in the road as a pup. She was barely weaned. She might have been 3 or 4 weeks past being weaned, and had a collar on her. We published it on Facebook, went to the local animal shelter, reported it. They posted it on their site. No one claimed her. They asked around in the neighborhood where she was found. No one claimed her. It was shortly after, I think it was mid-February, maybe early March, I can't remember. But the timing was right after Christmas, as if she was weaned about in time for Christmas, made a good Christmas pet, you know, a gift for Christmas, and maybe somebody decided they didn't want her. I don't know, but I've had her ever since the lady found her in the road. She brought her to me the next day to babysit, and I just kept her. I've had her ever since. I named her Shadow, and she's been a good dog overall, but now she is very vocal. She's very loud and curious. Still got a lot of pup in her. She's not even 2-year-old, so that's why I'm hesitant a lot of times to bring her. I guess I really should take the time to work with her and train her a little more as far as having her out on trail where I could possibly take her off the leash and let her go. But I originally thought maybe she was a husky due to the blue eyes, as you can see those. I don't know if she's going to look around here. She's just probably going to tangle herself up right there, which she's very good at. But anyway, I thought maybe she had some husky in her because of the blue eyes, but I done some research, and she looks more like what they call a white Catahoula. I don't know if you've got any insight into that. Comment, let me know. But anyway, we're going to get over here by the fire pit. I think Daniel has cut some wood. I'm going to have to chip in and do my part and probably cut some too. And we'll probably have us a fire here tonight. But anyway, I'm getting hungry. I'm going to go get set up and make some dinner, and I'll bring you back. Say hello to the camera, Shadow. Say hi. Shadow, look at me, girl. Look at me. Look at them blue eyes. Look at me, girl. I'd say you about ready for some water, ain't you? And some food. All right, let's go get some grub. And guys, you can see we got the fire going back in the old fire pit. It is hot out here. It is too hot to sit too close to it. I'm back a pretty decent ways from it, but Shadow, would you stop? I'm gonna bring you over here. Just quit. But pretty big fire there, pretty nice fire pit. I think Daniel done a little bit of work on it and got it pretty well workable again there. But anyway, I'm gonna set my stuff up here, and we're gonna try and see if we can't maybe get situated to cook some dinner. Well, guys, as you can see, we're getting set up here. I'm gonna work on fixing some food. Feed the dog. Maybe if her mouth's full of dog food, she'll shut up for a while, since she's been wide open since we got here, thinking she has to be involved in everything going on. But anyway, we're going to try and get set up here and cook some food and get some food in the belly and a cup of coffee in me and take it easy. The back's been bothering me at the moment, so. Guys, I know in previous videos, I've just been throwing my trash in my food bag, and a lot of times I'll just do that on an overnighter, because if we're going to hang our food anyway, it doesn't really matter. But this is one of those smell-proof bags. It's pretty thick, pretty heavy duty. It's much thicker than a regular like Ziploc bag or whatever. I don't even remember where I got this. This is just called Smelly Proof Heavy Duty. Smellyproof.com, but that's where I got this from, and I just keep it as a garbage bag. It works really well to throw your garbage down in, that sort of thing. Works pretty good. That's what I use it for, and I just keep it rolled up, and when I get home I empty it out. I have due to picking up other people's garbage while out on trail and at other campsites, I had to pick up some stuff that somebody had threw in a fire once and put down in here, and it kind of got all over the bag, and I had to clean it once pretty good. But other than that, I don't really have to clean it much, because I do have another baggie inside there that if it's something that may spill out or whatever, I'll just stick it down in that. It's one of those disposable Ziplocs, and I'll just toss the whole thing and keep this big bag. But it works really well. Well, hey guys, I was going to jump on here and just show you these bowls. I know you've probably seen them before. They just snap and they'll lay out flat. You can slide them in the water bladder pocket on your pack and just down in the back of it, whatever. They're pretty universal, or really easy to work with. I have done something similar to this and left the front side open, like to lay a piece of meat in there and to eat. Well, you can hold it this way and eat off of it. You can snap it all the way together, and you've got a full bowl that'll hold stuff pretty good. I have left it just sort of loose like this and set a mountain house in it before, just to make it easier to hold that type of stuff. A freeze-dried meal in there. But they're pretty versatile. I like them. One of the main things that I really use them for is for the dog. They're easy, compact, easy to handle, carry. They don't weigh much. I usually just wedge them in front of something, put her food and water in it, and let her eat that way. But they work pretty good that way. Guys, the dog is all wigged out. Somebody cracked a shot off over the hill down here on some other property down there. They're not close to us or anything like that, but it does sort of freak her out. 4th of July, fireworks, that kind of stuff. It really wigs her out usually, but I think she'll be all right. She'll calm down here in a minute, I believe. I hope. I really did not, I've not really done much to my food cache here since the last trip, so whatever was in there the last time I still have, which is, yeah, a Mountain House chicken teriyaki again. if I'm being honest, I really don't want that, as good as it is. Mountain house is probably going to be easier and less messier, so I think I'm going to go the easy route today. However, I do have some, one of them north sides, a little bit of some, what is this, some Spanish rice, I believe it is, that I might throw in that mountain house to add a little calories to it. May even throw that pack of chicken in there, I don't know. But I think that's what I'm going to go with. Ain't much left in there. Man, probably ought to just go ahead and throw it all in there, honestly. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? My luck, it won't hydrate though. It'll take much longer, I'm sure. So we'll add a little more flavor to it, I guess. We will see.
I could just toss it over in floor real quick.
That's what I'd probably
Well,
do.
it's wet. It'll explode though.
Guys, you can't see Daniel's behind the camera, but maybe we'll roll some footage in here in a minute. But he's got a big old, what is that, a deer shoulder tenderloin? What you got?
Big tenderloin.
He's got a big old slab of deer tenderloin. He's going to hack up here in a minute. He had it on the fire there. He's trying to determine if it's as done as he wants it or not. So
It's got to be a little raw.
Well, hey guys, we're just sitting around still. I think Daniel has about halfway eaten. I think he's still got a big slab of meat laying over there he's chewing on. But anyway, was just gonna tune back in here and fill you in on what we're doing. We're just sitting around the fire here. It actually has died out, and just basically just coals you'd cook on, which is what Daniel just did. We'll probably get that thing going again here, maybe closer to dark, especially dealing with the gnats and flies, things like that. Just hanging out around camp here, not really doing anything, just chilling out. I've got a freeze-dried meal there that's rehydrating. I'm going to eat here in a minute and then probably finish that up with a cup of coffee. But just sort of kicking around camp here. I was going to just walk around, kind of give you a walk around of the whole camp and what we got going on here. But let me turn the camera around and we'll do that. Well, as you can see here, guys, of course you got the long bearded rambler over there. He's chewing on a big old hunk of deer meat. Of course, I've got my stuff set up here. Shadow is curious as always as to what's going on, and you can see the fire pit here just smoldering and smoking. Some hot coals in there. No flames in it at the moment, but we'll probably fire that thing back up here tonight. I've got Shadow just tethered between two trees over there on a runner where she can run. And then back over there, of course, where the sun is going down, back over there is where we came up on the mountain, and that flat spot out there, and then over here is camp. Well, guys, we're still sitting around, just chilling out, really doing nothing. Still waiting on the meal to hydrate. It's probably been about long enough to stir it, check it at least. It'll probably take a little longer than normal because I threw a bit of a Nor side that I had of some Spanish rice in with this mountain house. So it may take it a little longer, I'm sure it will. Well, I think I am going to try this mountain house and see what this bad boy tastes like. I'm sure it tastes about like it's tasted the last two times, other than the Nor sides I put in it. Give you a look at this mountain house, guys. As you can see, looks pretty good, pretty tasty. I did add some, as I said a moment ago, a Nor Spanish rice side to it, so that spiced it up a little bit, gave it a little bit different flavor, a little bit different taste. Guy's gonna eat this mountain house and maybe bring you back here in just a bit to get moving and doing something else.